Hello there, everyone. How you doing today? I rise from bed to bring you another video of r/entitled parents. I hope you're all doing well today, and if you enjoy, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and possibly leave a comment with your thoughts down below. Now, without further ado, let's go! For our first story we've got, Dad won't pay me back my money, and then made me cry over pizza. No, I didn't actually cry over pizza. I always thought my dad was just a hard butt, but after this I learned he's entitled, stubborn, and rude. So I went home to visit some family. I was only there for a week. Now, my brother Dave lives with our dad with his 2 kids. Dave works hard, but is struggling because he had to take care of 2 kids. There was an incident with his spouse, and he lost a lot of money and his house, so he's trying to get back up on his feet. Dave pays all his own bills and pays for utilities and any extra expenses that occur as a result of him staying there. When I was visiting, I took care of my dad's dogs because I really love animals. So I would walk him, give him food, I even gave him a bath. One day, my dad called me while he was at work and told me that the dog was almost out of food. He asked me if I could pick some up. I did, and it cost me almost $70 in dog food. I got the dog food and told my dad how much he was expecting him to pay me back, but he never did. And whenever I would bring it up, he would just kind of ignore it. I actually complained to my mom and Dave about it. Parents are divorced. And they offered to pay for him because that's just how Dad is. Which made me even more upset because it's enabling his behavior. Now, for the pizza incident. Dave solely takes care of his kids, cooking, cleaning, helping with school. Despite being on my vacation, I thought I'd help out while I was there, and took care of cooking. I have specific meals that I cook for myself due to allergies. I had cooked my meal and decided I would order pizza for the kids and Dave, my treat. I bought enough pizza so they could have dinner and a lunch the next day. Well, my dad comes home from work and eats some of the pizza. I didn't mind at first, there was plenty of pizza. But then the next morning he eats some more pizza for breakfast. And then that same day before he leaves for work, he gets more pizza. No one else had had any more pizza since dinner last night. I go to look at how much pizza is left, and there's only 1 slice left. He ate enough pizza for 3 people. I asked him why he ate all the pizza I bought specifically for Dave and the kids. He then starts yelling at me, in my face, calling me selfish, and a bunch of other stuff. I'm not only upset, but scared, because of how much he's screaming and raging. So I start crying. He yells even more, saying something along the words that I don't have the right to cry over something like this. He said that this is his house and he has the right to eat some pizza. I tried to tell him I don't mind him eating the pizza. It's just that he can't eat it all considering he didn't even pay for it. My dad just kept yelling at me, not allowing me to say a word. He also said that if I didn't like it, I could live somewhere else, which made no sense because I don't live there, I was just visiting. I already had another trip planned to come see them, but I told Dave and my mom that I don't think I'll be coming back after that, and I don't want to deal with someone like that, which made them both upset in the sense that they wanted to see me. Like, my mom was almost in tears at the idea that I wouldn't come for visits. It's easier for me to go see them versus them to me. We lost 2 family members this year, rather close together, so it made me realize how precious your loved ones are, and I've been doing my best to spend more time with them. But after this, I don't want to interact with my dad anymore. For our next story we've got, my mum keeps demanding I give her a grandchild. Hey everyone, long post, but I wanted everyone's opinions on this. Just wanted to see how others would respond to the same comments I received from my mum. I'm 27, child-free, and have never been a maternal person. Earlier on last year, I was diagnosed with a chronic, progressive nerve disease called Complex Regional Pain Syndrome, CRPS. I had an injury at work 2.5 years ago and have had CRPS now for about 18 months. The injury was to my dominant hand, the right hand, and my CRPS is from fingertips to the side of my neck on the right side and stomach. CRPS has no cure and minimal treatments. I'm always in 7 to 10 out of 10 pain, 24/7. My normal daily life is hard, and I rely heavily on my partner's help to do the smallest things. I can't put on or take off shirts, bras, and some pants on by myself. I can't cut up my own food, write, wash, dry, or do my hair up by myself. I can't prepare dinner, submerge my hand in water, do washing up or vacuuming because of vibrations and other things. If we have to travel out of town, it takes me 2 days to recover, and I'm bedbound with a spew bucket for the whole 2 days. The vibrations from the car cause me so much pain, and have to always have spew bags with me. I recently had a conversation with my mom about wanting to get my tubes tied, and this is where she lost it at me. I was explaining to her about how I can barely care for myself without my partner, let alone a child. Plus, pregnancy really ramps up CRPS and can cause more issues, pain, and spreading of my condition. Plus, birthing, either naturally or C-section, can make the CRPS spread to my private organs. I was telling her that it would be selfish to have a child because I wouldn't be able to give the kid a proper life, and it would be unfair on my partner too, as he'd have to take on so much more responsibility. She told me I was being selfish, and I would live a sad, lonely life when I'm older, that no reputable doctor would touch me if I asked them to tie my tubes. I asked her, well, what methods of contraception would you suggest then? I can't go on the pill or the rod because of my migraines. Contraceptives fuck with CRPS and make the pain worse due to hormones, and condoms aren't fail-safe. She replied,
You know my stance. I think it's a stupid decision and that you're selfish for even considering this.
I've thought all about of this on my current medical situation I'm in, let alone how different and more difficult things will be if my CRPS spreads further, which pregnancy can make it spread, especially if it's a C-section, which then poses more complications of the CRPS spreading to that site, and then causing lifelong complications with my reproductive organs, fertility, sexual ability, etc. I don't know what to do. Mom keeps saying,
You need to give me a granddaughter. You're the only one left who can still have kids. I would love to have a biological grandchild. It's up to you now.
She has 11 step-grandsons, no biological grandchildren, as I'm her only child. She's refusing to understand my concerns and just continues to berate me and call me selfish for not wanting to bring a child into the world that I can't physically care for. CRPS is an insanely cruel disease. Many, many people have had it for over 30 years and have it full body. I have extreme hypersensitivity in my affected limb. I can't stand having material or anything touch my arm and hand, and wear a sling most days. If something does touch my hand or brush my hand, I'll be in tears and throwing up because of the pain. I can't even hold an empty coffee cup in my hand, let alone a child. One of the things that frustrates me the most is the fact that she's seen me in a full-blown flare-up, crying, shaking, throwing up because of the pain. Fingers locking up, having to physically pry my fingers open after a massive pain spike. That then caused severe cramping in my hand. Having to use a walking stick or have my partner carry me to a bed, while I'm bawling my eyes out because I can't walk because of how much pain I'm in. She's seen all of this and still has the audacity to call me the selfish one. She lives 2.5 hours away and has stayed with me for a total of 2 nights in 7 years I've lived in this town. I'm always the one who has to travel to see her. Plus, now with this condition, traveling is becoming harder and harder to be able to tolerate. So, I'm just frustrated and upset now, very much so. Also, for anyone who's curious about CRPS, please look up the CRPS pain scale to better understand the level of pain we go through. I love my mom, but I'm so close to going no contact. Edit. I just wanted to address the questions about what my partner doesn't get a vasectomy. We aren't married, we have talked about it, but I don't want him to make that choice for my sake. I know that it's a definite that I'm not having kids. I don't want him to get the snip, and then we break up many years later, and he decides he wants kids with a new partner, and have that risk of not being able to get it reversed, as they aren't 100% reversible. It wouldn't be fair on him. He's already put aside so much and changed his life so much around being able to care for me. I'd personally see him getting the snip as another burden on him, which I don't want him to physically alter his body for my sake. Based OP. For our last story we've got, Dad ruins my high school graduation by getting drunk on my mom's tab. I'm not entirely sure this fits perfectly here, but I wanted to share it. My dad has a bad drinking problem. Makes him pretty much incapable of functioning. He has, I think, around a grand total of 14 DUIs. He and my mom got divorced when I was 5. He was absent a lot through my ages 9 to 13, and we've had a lot of issues over the years. One thing he always brags about is that he's been to all of my graduations. Well, that's technically true, but he's ruined most of them. My high school graduation, we went to eat at the Mexican restaurant after. My dad was unemployed. He's later managed to get disability, but he didn't have it at the time, and living out of a garage. My mom offered to pay for his food. The meal was fine at first. We were having a good time. Then my dad ordered the first jumbo margarita. When he ordered the second, my mom flew off the handle and basically had to run outside the building to avoid strangling my father over the tortilla chips. My brother and his, at the time, girlfriend ran out after my mom to help calm her down. I was left at the table with my dad and my mom's on and off boyfriend. Mom's boyfriend is a shit stirrer, so this was a problem. When the waitress came over, my dad tried to order a third margarita. The waitress told him it wasn't a good idea, and asked if my mom was okay with that. Mom's BF was laughing and asked Dad, "You gonna let her tell you what to do? You're entitled to a drink." My dad initially started berating this poor woman and told her, "I'm a grown-ass man and I can have another drink if I want one." My ass was basically losing it at this point and was telling him not to be an asshole and that he was making a scene. To which I got told, "I'm your father. You can't talk to me that way." By the time Mom came in, they immediately started going at it. We basically had to just pay the check and leave. My dad obviously can't drive, so we also had to drive him home. He basically just called my mom swears as we drove away. If you ask him, though, absolutely none of that happened, and he was a perfect supportive dad during the graduation. Gotta love a parent having the case of CRS. Can't remember shit. Anyway, that's the end of today's video. Here's our outro. Ba 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 ba.
Hey, can I borrow your attention for a little second? You see, I'm saving up for some equipment items, like a VR headset so I can record in VR chat, or a new AT2020 mic.
You can help me fund these by going to my throne in the description below. I'll leave it on the top to help you find it. If you enjoy my video, please check it out. Now, that's the end of today's video. I'll see you later.